All right. We're on the record in two cases. First case is cause number 321-974. Second case is cause number 329-889. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jarvis Allen Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jacobs, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jacobs, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Jacobs?
I'm good. How you doing, Judge?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Jacobs, in cause number 321-974, the information alleges that on or about February 2nd of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of criminal mischief. Hold on a minute. Criminal mischief, family violence. That's not a, criminal mischief is not a Title V offense, is it? Mr. Jacobs,
Yes, sir.
have the bailiff bring in the other guy, Mr. Lee. We'll do your case after we do Lee's case. I have to look something up.
Yes, sir.
You have Lee's case.
Yes, it's right.
Do we have a, let's see. We're on the record in call number 330348. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Vincent Craig Lee. We have Mr. Lee present. Mr. Lee, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lee, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Lee, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee, how are you doing?
Guilty.
You doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right, that's good. Now, Mr. Lee, I have for me an information that alleges that on or about August 2nd of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of a violation of protective order. Mr. Lee, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Okay. Now, Mr. Matuska.
Your Honor, it's no contest.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Mr. Lee,
I thought you want to plead no contest.
No contest. Yes, sir.
okay, now, Mr. Lee, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Matuska, are you waiving a record in this case as well?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Lee, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. Is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked on the range of punishment, says it's a Class A misdemeanor, and the range of punishment is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 1 year, or fine not to exceed $4,000, or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I see some initials, VL, next to a paragraph that is titled firearm ownership, and it reads, a conviction for certain misdemeanor offenses, including those offenses involving family violence, will result in you being ineligible to possess or purchase a firearm for any purpose. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Lee, there are a set of initials, VL, on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
And on page 3, at the top of this document, there is a signature. It looks like it's Vincent Lee, above the line that's titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Lee, on the next document, which is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature Vincent Lee above the line that's titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lee, did you sign a document out there that is titled the discovery certification? Did you sign a document on paper out there that is titled the discovery
Yes, sir.
certification? Okay, now, Mr. Lee, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to also offer State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Matuska, do you have any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibits number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you've advised and counseled Mr. Lee. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lee, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's 40 days county jail.
Do we have a affidavit on here? Okay. Did you- Mr. Lee, the state is offering that you serve 40 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. Now, Mr. Lee, the court cost in this case is $327. Mr. Lee, would you be able to pay the $327 court cost?
No, sir. Not right
Okay,
now.
now,
Get out.
all right. Mr. Lee, let me, I need to ask you some questions. Mr. Lee, are you currently employed? Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Lee, how much do you make a month?
Approximately on average, about 2,000 a month.
Okay, now, Mr. Lee, since you're currently incarcerated, you're not working, is that correct?
Correct, correct.
Okay, now, are you receiving any governmental benefits?
No,
Okay, now, are you married, single, divorced, separated, or widowed?
single.
Are you receiving any child support?
No,
Do you have any assets? Are you own a home?
no,
Do you own a vehicle?
no.
All right. Now, do you live with, are you paying rent, or are you living with a family member? Are you homeless?
I was paying rent before I got incarcerated.
Okay, that was before you was incarcerated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, but, and let's see, what was your rent?
700 a month.
And you had to pay utility bills?
Yes,
What was that?
light bill.
What was that a month? Light and gas?
Light bill about 100 a month.
Does that include water and,
Yeah, that included water and lights.
okay, so all your utility bills is about 100 a month?
Yes, 150.
Okay, 100 or 150?
Yeah, 100 to 150.
Okay, now what about, you have to pay any child support? Did you have any child expenses?
No, sir.
Do you what about your food? How much were you paying on that per month?
Ooh, about $200 a month to eat.
About 200?
Yes, sir.
Transportation costs? Did you have to pay somebody to bring you? Or did you have to catch the bus, Uber, or cab, or?
No, I caught a ride. I had a work van to pick me up every day.
Okay, did you have to pay for that?
No.
Okay, what, do you own a cell phone?
Yes.
How much you pay your month on cell phone?
$60.
Okay, and were you on paying any probation fees or parole fees?
No.
And any medical expenses?
No.
You had to pay any credit cards?
No.
Okay. Now, you're currently incarcerated, so Mr. Lee, the court is going to find that you're indigent, and because of the finding that you're indigent, your court cost is going to be waived pursuant to Article 42.15, the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. So, Mr. Lee, I'll just repeat your sentence. 40 days reserved in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. The court costs of $327 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure because the court is finding that you are indigent. Mr. Lee, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Lee, please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
You too, Your Honor.
I'm going to recess for about 5 minutes.